Hello, my beloved friends. So, I welcome you in the love and in the light of the one Creator. In today's session, I channeled Archangel Michael, and Archangel Michael, actually has given us guidance for what we need to do in the coming days. Okay, Archangel Michael, has said in this session that the coming days, starting from the 24th to the 8th of August, is going to be a period wherein the Council of Planets is going to do a test of our planet. Also, in this session, Archangel Michael has mentioned about something known as the Rapture. Now, after listening to the session, I will give you what I understand based on what he is saying. Okay. Furthermore, this session is a wonderful session. I felt positive energy from this session, wherein Archangel Michael is saying that we are doing a proper job. Okay, we are doing a wonderful thing, by raising our consciousness. He said that many people, they have become aware of the messages from Archangel Michael and other beings, and they are now raising their consciousness, which is a great news, right? Also, in this session, Archangel Michael talks about the dinosaurian era. Okay, furthermore, he also tells us about the two things that we need to achieve in our incarnation. This incarnation is a very important incarnation, and we need to achieve the two things which are described in the session. So I'm going to play the session now, after which listen to the session, and I will then share with you what I understand.
I am Archangel Michael, and I am here at this time to be with you, to continue to bring these energies to you. I am connected to this boy in order to share my insights without having to infringe upon the free will that each being on the planet has. Hence, remember to use your discernment and only accept the message if it resonates with your inner heart. Remember this: your consciousness has dramatically increased. It has raised higher in vibration beyond what it was a few months ago. I am of the opinion that many of the messages that I have been sharing through this boy has positively affected many of the entities on your planet. Many of you may not be aware of this, but every time that you feel an inner peace and a connection with your inner heart, and every time you enter a certain void or a silence within, you will begin to raise your level of consciousness and begin to rise up higher and higher. Understand this, that in the coming days, from the 24th of July, the Council of Planets is planning to do a checkup of the Earth's planetary vibration level. Therefore, this checkup shall last until 8th of August in your timeline. After this checkup of the planet ends, a period of so-called rapture of consciousness shall begin on your planet based upon the decisions made by the Council of Planets. The chances of this rapture of consciousness occurring on your planet is very high, as per my assessments. Hence, I would like to inform your people through this instrument to prepare mentally and spiritually for the upcoming events, if so decided by the Council of Planets. And furthermore, they want to also find out the vibration of each hemisphere of the Earth planet in order to plan out the future lessons and the future plan for assisting humanity in this ascension process. There are two major purposes behind each entity's incarnation on this planet. These so-called missions are objectives, if achieved by each entity, will lead to a larger number of graduation of souls from your Earth planet. Since this incarnation is a very rare opportunity for many entities, they must choose wisely and reach higher and higher levels of consciousness using their own free will. Furthermore, each entity must understand that they can make the choice of choosing the pathway between the path of positive service to others or the other negative pathway, which is the path of service to self as known by your people. However, those entities who shall choose the other pathway of service to self shall not find incarnation on this planet in the coming days. Hence, those entities or those beings who choose the path of service to others in this incarnation with at least 51% service to others shall find place in this planet in the coming days and coming future incarnations. As this planet is now entering the beginning stages of the so-called New Earth or the fourth density consciousness, and many vibration changes are also occurring. Furthermore, remember that this planet and the life that surrounds you is simply an illusion. A teacher, it is nothing more than that. All beings have many a times moved and reached beyond the veil of illusion. You all have reached beyond the matrix, and you all have become one with the source many a times. You all have had the inner realization and the feeling that you were connected with the I Am presence, or the Father, or the Creator within your own heart. Furthermore, each entity is experiencing this illusion known as life. In order to make the choice of choosing between the path of service to others or the service to self, and the other aspect which many entities forget and many beings on your planet forget is the aspect that is of the learning to choose your reality. Each entity must learn to choose its own reality. Furthermore, each entity and each being must realize that all the lessons and catalyst and the so-called undesirable situations that each entity faces in this incarnation is placed by the self for the self in order to learn the various lessons. Hence, the beings who are incarnated on this planet must realize that they can and have to choose the path of service to others. And they have to learn to manipulate energy. Manipulation of energy is simple. Each being must understand the outward reality that surrounds each being is the cause, or is created based upon the emotions that each entity is feeling. Furthermore, the feelings that each entity allows to feel in its body and heart will determine the outward reality. There is a certain connection between what beings feel and what they will perceive in the outward reality. Also understand this. The test is not a so-called joking test. This test must be taken seriously because this test occurs every 70 million years time scale. Prior to this, there was a certain test that occurred during the times of the so-called dinosaurs that existed on your planet around 70 million years ago. At that time period, the Council had allowed the planet, which was in the second density consciousness level, to be infringed freely by many other outward entities. And because of this infringement on the planet, the reptilians had created genetically larger and bigger variations of their own genes in the form of dinosaurs which existed on your planet at that time period. After the planetary vibration check of the planet, it was found out that the dinosaurs were doing more harm to the planet than progressing. Hence, the Council of Planets decided to intervene the negative agenda of the reptilians that had been freely conquering the planet. Because of the lack of quarantine, and they had sent a love light exposed asteroid toward the planet that caused the end of the so-called dinosaurian reptilian regime on Earth. The dinosaurs, however, died because of hunger and not being able to procure enough dietary entities. That is the reason why this vibration test, which is occurring for the second time in the history of your planetary sphere, must be taken seriously, because based on this planetary test, the next actions will be taken by the Council of Planets. However, please know that I am Archangel Michael, and I am always supporting and guiding planet Earth. Also, the Council of Planets is of the opinion as of now that the planet is progressing into the positive cycle. Also, there has been a huge increase in the level of consciousness of many entities. Furthermore, the entities on your planet must take care of two aspects, which are the aspect of choosing between the path of service to others or service to self. And they must learn how to manipulate energy by learning how can they use their inner feelings to choose the reality and create the outward circumstances. In the coming sessions, I may share with you, if you so desire, the exercises to choose your timelines, because this is a lesson to be learned, as each entity has the essence of the Creator, within each being on the planet and must understand and learn to use this essence. This is also an aspect which must be learned. There are two aspects which must be learned by each entity. Without learning one aspect of the manipulation of reality and the creation or choosing of the timeline or the creator essence that is within each entity is fine. However, each being must remember that without learning the second lesson, they can graduate into the higher levels of consciousness. But that graduation will only be until a certain level of fourth density consciousness. In order to rise above the level of fourth density or to reach into the later stages, entities must understand to exercise the power of creation within their own self using the feeling element. I am Archangel Michael, and I leave you now. So be it.
So furthermore, from listening to the session, I have understood that the period that is coming now from the 24th to the August 8th is a period which is very important for our planet. And Archangel Michael has said in the session that this period occurs every 75,000 year cycle. Sorry, 75, I think it's 70 million, right? Not 75,000, but 70 million. So, the last time this check happened was during the time of the dinosaurs. And the thing is, during that period, they said that, the earth was in the second density consciousness during the time of the dinosaurs. And at that time, the reptilians, they were fully dominating our planet, okay? Because at that time there was no quarantine like the quarantine which we have right now. By the meaning of quarantine, what I mean is that they do not allow any outside entities to come inside the planet Earth at this time. And Archangel Michael also said in the session that they had sent an asteroid, okay, exposed to love light energies in order to stop the deterioration of planet, because the dinosaurs, they were not progressing, there was no progress in consciousness. So it was like it was actually a hindrance to the planet. So they sent a asteroid which eventually led to the destruction of the dinosaurian era. And I believe this answered some of the questions that I had about how the dinosaurs became extinct, and I finally understood. Okay, so this period that is coming is, I believe, it's going to be very important for humanity. Many people may not realize that it's an important period, right? The other thing that I realized in the session that Archangel Michael has stated is that in the coming period, in the coming days from the 24th to the 8th of August, the vibration check of our planet will determine what the council will do. The council is planning to do something known as the rapture of consciousness. Now, I don't know what rapture actually means, okay? I have actually heard little bit about the rapture from some of my Christian friends, but I don't really know what it actually and truly means. And the rapture that Archangel Michael is saying in this session may not be the same rapture that they are referring to, okay? There may be a bit of a difference. And the other fascinating thing that Archangel Michael has said in the session is, we have two objectives in this incarnation which we need to achieve. The first objective is that we need to choose the pathway of service to others or the pathway of service to self. And those who choose the pathway of service to self will not incarnate on this planet ever again. The second is, he said, we need to learn energy work and learn to choose our reality, okay? So I believe Archangel Michael said that in the future sessions, if we need guidance, he will provide guidance regarding the energy work. So yeah, and also regarding the energy work, I believe he is talking about how we can choose our reality based on our inner emotions. Okay, this is what I learned. He said that, based on what you feel inside, you will begin to choose your reality. And this is very important, based on what I have noticed. Okay, whenever I am feeling happy, or whenever I'm feeling at peace, everything is easy, everything is easier to accomplish. But whenever I'm feeling some negative emotions, the things become hard. Okay, even you may notice this, with interaction with other people. If your state of emotion is good, if you're in a happy mood, you're feeling at peace, then you interact with someone else, they will feel it. Okay, they will feel happiness, they will feel peaceful, and the circumstances will be different. So I believe, Archangel Michael is trying to hint that our reality is created based on our feelings, right? So this is amazing revelation if you think about it. Okay, so I believe, the most important thing we need to watch for is the emotions we feel in our body, because that is what determines, what will happen outside, right? This is wow, right? And also, one of the things that I want to say is that, I want to thank you all for joining me on Patreon, and where I am uploading daily videos of channeling sessions. And thank you so much for watching the video. So I will see you in the next session. Thank you.